Behind closed doors and far from the spotlight, Black LGBTQ+ couples are rewriting what love looks like. While the world claps for progress, these love stories often go unseen, quiet, powerful, and unstoppable. From secret weddings to public revolutions, their journeys are filled with passion, pain, and purpose, ready to meet the couples breaking barriers and proving that Black queer love is fierce, fearless, and here to stay. RuPaul and George LeBar, the glam queen and the silent cowboy. What happens when the world's most iconic drag queen falls for a quiet cowboy? RuPaul, the glamorous titan of television and pop culture, found love in the most unexpected place. A New York nightclub in 1994 with George LeBar, a soft-spoken artist and ranch owner from Wyoming. For over 2 decades, they've kept their love story mostly hidden, not because it isn't worth telling, but because not every great romance needs a spotlight. George avoids fame like a stampede, preferring canvas and open skies to cameras and chaos. RuPaul, ever the showstopper, has always respected that. Their wedding, secret. Their life, peaceful. Their love, unshakable. In an industry obsessed with flash, RuPaul and George prove that the quietest love stories can be the strongest. No scandals, no stunts, just 2 souls, wildly different, deeply connected, choosing each other every day. Now that's real drag royalty. Jason Bolden and Adair Curtis, style, soulmates, and a seriously chic love story. Jason Bolden, celebrity stylist to the stars, and Adair Curtis, master of modern spaces, don't just turn heads, they turn life into art. Together, they built an empire on Netflix's Styling Hollywood. But behind every red carpet and perfectly staged room is a love story deeper than any design plan. They said "I do" in 2012, blending bold vision with quiet devotion. Jason calls Adair his muse. Adair says Jason makes ideas real. Together, they are unstoppable. In 2021, their world expanded. They became fathers. Parenthood added more than joy. It added depth, grounding their love in something even more meaningful. Their chemistry, undeniable. Their hustle, relentless. Their bond, unbreakable. Jason and Adair don't just create beautiful things, they've created a beautiful life. And it all started with a spark and a shared dream. Juan and G. Smalls, cooking up love, legacy, and a revolution. What do you get when soul food meets soulmates? Juan and G. Smalls didn't just fall in love, they built a movement. As partners in life and business, they turned their passion into Virgil's Gullah Kitchen, a buzzing restaurant that serves more than just food. It serves heritage, pride, and purpose. Their love sizzles in every dish and simmers in every act of service. As the first Black gay couple to appear on House Hunters, they didn't just break barriers. They shattered stereotypes. But they didn't stop there. Through their nonprofit, the Gentlemen's Foundation, they mentor, uplift, and inspire a new generation of queer Black men to dream without limits. In a world that often tries to erase Black queer love, Juan and G. Smalls wrote their own recipe, bold, unapologetic, and rooted in community. Their story proves that love isn't just something you feel. It's something you build. And theirs? It's built to last. Monica Carter and Therese Michel, R&B, real love and radical truth. Can love bring peace after fame's chaos? For Monica Carter, the sultry R&B star of the 90s, love wasn't found under the spotlight. It was discovered in the quiet, steady heart of Therese Michel, a writer and educator who saw the woman behind the music. They married in 2014 in a private ceremony far from industry noise. But their love? Loud in all the right ways. Monica had long been open with her fans, but being open about this love, as a proud Black lesbian in entertainment, was something revolutionary. Together, she and Therese faced judgment, industry whispers, and cultural resistance. But they chose love anyway. Therese praises Monifa's resilience. Monifa says Therese is her peace. Together, they've turned vulnerability into power and created a relationship grounded in truth, purpose, and visibility. In a world where queer black love is often erased, Monifa and Therese said, "We're here. We're in love. Get used to it." Antonio and Kervin, when dance becomes devotion. What if love didn't speak, but moved? For Antonio and Kervin, dance wasn't just a profession. It was the pulse of their love story. As performers with the legendary Alvin Ailey Dance Company, their connection was born not through words, but through movement, rhythm, and raw emotion. They didn't fall in love in silence. They leapt, spun, and soared into it. On stage, they were electric. Off stage, they were inseparable. Their final performance together at Lincoln Center in 2013 wasn't just art, it was a vow. Every step, every lift, every beat echoed a truth. This was love in motion. Together, they turned choreography into connection. Touring the country, they transformed workshops into safe spaces, blending art with advocacy for the Black LGBTQ+ community. Antonio and Kervin didn't just dance for love, they danced as love. And in every graceful movement, they left behind a legacy that still echoes across every stage they touched. Brian Terrell Clark and DeVario Simmons, Broadway backstage and a love that steals the show. What happens when the spotlight meets the designer behind the curtain? Brian Terrell Clark lit up Broadway as George Washington in Hamilton, commanding the stage with soul and swagger. But off stage, his heart belonged to someone just as brilliant, DeVario Simmons, a costume designer whose artistry speaks in every stitch. Their love didn't begin with a script. It began with shared creativity and deep respect. Brian brings the voice. DeVario brings the vision. Together, they're a powerhouse built on collaboration, trust, and pure artistic fire. Whether it's walking red carpets or designing dream projects, they show up for each other, loudly, proudly, completely. In 2022, they sealed it with a wedding, a moment that was as elegant as it was electric. For them, love isn't about applause, it's about alignment. Their relationship is a masterclass in harmony. One crafts stories through movement and song, the other through fabric and form. And somehow, in each other, they found the perfect rhythm. Brian and DeVario don't just support each other, they elevate each other. And together, they prove that when love and art collide, the result can be nothing short of magic. J. August Richards and Joshua Gbor, from superhero roles to super real love. What if the most heroic role you ever played was yourself? J. August Richards is no stranger to saving the day on screen. From Angel to Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., he's played the strong, silent type with ease. But behind the scenes, it was love, not a script, that gave him the courage to live out loud. Enter Joshua Gbor, music lover, fashion creative, and the man who changed everything. Their meeting wasn't some Hollywood plot twist. It was real, raw, and electric. What started with shared passions soon became shared dreams. Josh's vibrant artistry blended perfectly with J. August's soulful depth. Together, they made a life full of rhythm, color, and truth. They didn't chase clout. They built connection. In 2023, they made it official with a wedding that wasn't about celebrity. It was about celebration. Friends described it as magic, and magic it was. Two artists, two souls, becoming one story. Their love isn't just beautiful, it's brave. It reminds us sometimes the most powerful transformation isn't in a scene, it's in the quiet decision to be seen. Nietzsche Nash and Jessica Betts. From best friends to breaking barriers. What if your soulmate was hiding in plain sight, just one song away? Niecy Nash, the Emmy-winning actress known for lighting up screens in Claws and Reno 911, didn't plan to fall in love with a woman. But love doesn't ask for permission, it just arrives. Jessica Betts, a soul singer with a voice that could shake the heavens, wasn't just a friend. She was the one Niecy didn't know her heart had been waiting for. They first connected in 2015 over music, bonding as friends, collaborators, and creative kindred spirits. But somewhere between the laughs and late-night conversations, friendship bloomed into something deeper. In 2020, they shocked the world and made history with a surprise wedding. No warning, no Hollywood headlines, just pure, undeniable love. Since then, they've redefined what queer black love looks like in the public eye, gracing red carpets, magazine covers, including Essence as the first same-sex couple to do so, and filling every room they enter with joy, style, and authenticity. Niecy and Jessica didn't just fall in love. They rewrote the rules. And every moment since has been a love song the world didn't know it needed. 6'6" Pappy and Dara rule, beats, bold looks, and a bond built to last. 6'6" Pappy, a style icon known for pushing boundaries, and Dara rule, a dynamic DJ spinning high-energy electronic beats, weren't looking for love. But when they met through mutual friends, sparks flew and never stopped. Their connection was instant, fierce, and unforgettable. From runway-ready outfits to late-night studio sessions, they built a relationship rooted in rhythm and style. But this love wasn't just surface level. It was deep, tested, and real. Over the years, they've navigated the highs and lows of life in the spotlight, building a home full of creativity and care. Then came their biggest collaboration yet, parenthood. The arrival of their daughter transformed their bond, adding a new rhythm to their already vibrant world. Now, as partners in both life and art, Pappy and Dara are showing the world that love can be bold, loud, and unapologetically authentic. Their love is a vibe. Their family is a masterpiece. And together they prove that when two creators fall for each other, the result isn't just magic, it's legacy. Jamal and Octavius, Terry Sims, choreographing love, designing legacy. What do you get when a choreographer and a fashion designer fall in love? A masterpiece. Jamal Terry Sims, the visionary behind dance moves for Beyoncé, Usher, and major Hollywood films, met his creative match in Octavius Terry Sims, a bold, fearless fashion designer whose work commands attention. Their worlds collided through art, but it was passion and shared vision that truly brought them together. They weren't just building careers. They were building something greater. In 2014, they tied the knot in a celebration that blended movement, style, and meaning. Since then, they've become one of the entertainment industry's most inspiring power couples, balancing jam-packed schedules with a bond that's only grown stronger. From red carpets to classrooms, they mentor young Black and LGBTQ+ talent, proving that love, when rooted in purpose, can fuel more than just hearts. It can change lives. Jamal and Octavius don't just walk through life together. They create it together, one step, one stitch, one vision at a time. Titus Burgess and Pablo Salinas, quiet love, loud joy. What if the most joyful soul on TV found peace in the quietest kind of love? Titus Burgess, the scene-stealing star of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, is known for his voice that soars and a personality that sparkles. But when it comes to his love life, Titus trades glitter for grounding, thanks to the calm, steady presence of Pablo Salinas. While Titus dazzles in the limelight, Pablo stays away from flashing cameras, offering something rarer than fame, unconditional support. They keep things low-key. No grand declarations, no tabloid drama. But their love? It's unmistakable. In every interview, every post, every quiet smile shared in the background, you can feel the foundation they've built. Pablo cheers from the wings. Titus's shines center stage, and together they strike a perfect harmony between ambition and authenticity. Their relationship reminds us, love doesn't always scream. Sometimes it simply shows up, day after day, moment after moment, with quiet strength and endless joy. Brad and Jessica Dupart, hip-hop meets hair empire and a whole lot of heart. What happens when a rap legend falls for a beauty mogul? Sparks fly, and the world watches. Da Brat, one of hip-hop's trailblazing women, shook the music scene with her bold bars and unapologetic style. But her biggest revelation wasn't on a track. It was falling in love, out loud, with Jessica Judy Dupart. Jessica, the powerhouse CEO behind Kaleidoscope hair products, wasn't just a business success. She was Brat's match in energy, ambition, and spirit. Their love story exploded onto social media, filled with humor, realness, and vibes. In 2022, they tied the knot in a wedding as vibrant as their personalities, luxe, loud, and unforgettable. Together, they've embraced every chapter, from running empires to starting a family and speaking out for LGBTQ+ visibility in Black communities. Brat and Jessica's love isn't filtered. It's fierce, fun, and full of purpose. And for every girl who grew up thinking she had to choose between love and legacy, they're living proof you can have both. Brittany and Cherelle Griner. From court battles to unbreakable bonds. What does love look like when the world is watching and everything's on the line? Brittany Griner, WNBA superstar and Olympic gold medalist, has always played with power. But her greatest strength may just be the woman by her side, Cherelle, a brilliant attorney with fierce loyalty and quiet fire. They met as college students at Baylor, but their love didn't truly blossom until years later. When they reconnected, it wasn't just romance, it was real. And in 2019, they said, "I do." But in 2022, their love faced the unimaginable. Brittany was wrongfully detained in Russia, and the world held its breath. Through it all, Cherelle never wavered, leading public advocacy, press conferences, and working with the White House to bring Brittany home. She wasn't just a wife, she was a warrior. When Brittany returned in December, it wasn't just a victory for justice. It was a love story triumphing over international crisis. Together, Brittany and Cherelle remind us true love doesn't fold under pressure. It rises, stronger than ever. Wanda Sykes and Alex Sykes, from Ferry Ride to Forever. What if the funniest woman in the room found love on a boat? Wanda Sykes, comedy legend and queen of quick wit, wasn't looking for a fairy tale. But fate had other plans, starting with a chance encounter on a ferry in 2006. That's where she met Alex Sykes, a French businesswoman with quiet confidence and a smile that stopped Wanda in her tracks. Call it kismet, call it comedy karma. Whatever it was, it clicked. 2 years later, they married in a private ceremony, shortly before Wanda publicly came out. It wasn't just a personal turning point, it was a historic one. Since then, Wanda and Alex have built a beautiful life, filled with love, laughter, and twin children who keep things real. While Wanda makes the world laugh, Alex keeps their world grounded. Together, they use their platform to champion LGBTQ+ rights with humor, honesty, and heart. Because for Wanda and Alex, love isn't just a punchline, it's the whole story. Shaun T and Scott Blocker, from Sweat to Soulmates. What happens when America's most intense fitness coach meets his emotional equal? You get one powerful partnership. Shaun T, the high-energy creator of insanity and a force in fitness motivation, built his brand on pushing people past their limits. But when it came to love, he needed someone who could meet him at his core. Enter Scott Blocker, former pro-athlete, businessman, and the calm behind the storm. After navigating career demands and personal doubts, they chose each other in 2012. Since then, their marriage has been built on honesty, humor, and deep healing. In 2017, their family grew when they welcomed twin boys via surrogacy, a journey that brought joy and transformation, but also tested their resilience. They've been open about the highs and heartbreaks, giving fans a raw, real look at queer parenthood. Shaun says Scott is his anchor. Scott says Shaun is his fire. Together, they're proof that behind every strong body is a stronger love. This isn't just about abs and affirmations. It's about trust, tears, and the triumph of building something unshakable together. Billy Porter and Adam Smith, fashion, fame, and a second chance at forever. What if the love of your life walked away and then came back when the timing was right? Billy Porter, the Tony and Emmy-winning icon who commands red carpets like runways and stages like battlefields, isn't afraid of bold statements. But his boldest move, letting love return. He met Adam Smith in 2009. The chemistry was there, but the timing wasn't. They broke up. Life went on. Until 5 years later, fate stepped in again. In 2017, they married in an intimate ceremony that celebrated not just love, but growth, forgiveness, and resilience. Billy, flamboyant, fabulous, and fiercely himself, found balance in Adam, a businessman with quiet strength and endless loyalty. Their marriage is a masterclass in second chances and sacred support. As Billy dazzles in gowns and delivers speeches that shake the room, Adam stays steady, reminding the world that even icons need soft places to land. They didn't just fall back in love, they chose it. And that choice, it's the truest kind of power. Samira Wiley and Lauren Morelli from Script to Soulmates. What if the love of your life was writing your story, literally? Samira Wiley, breakout star of Orange is the New Black, brought emotion and fire to the screen. But off-screen, something even more powerful was unfolding. Behind the scripts was Lauren Morelli, a writer on the show, quietly wrestling with her own truth. As Lauren wrote Samira's character into existence, she was also writing herself into a new chapter, one of self-discovery, courage, and unexpected love. Their connection grew behind the scenes, slow, tender, and deeply authentic. In 2017, they tied the knot in a stunning ceremony bursting with joy and unapologetic queerness. It wasn't just a wedding, it was a celebration of two women stepping into their full truth, together. Now they're not just a couple. They're co-creators of a life filled with creativity, advocacy, and a whole lot of love. Their story isn't just about falling in love. It's about becoming, as individuals and as a team. From a Netflix script to real-life vows, Samira and Lauren proved that sometimes love really does write the best endings. Todrick Hall and David Borum, Love Beyond the Spotlight. What if fame lit up your life? But it was the quiet love behind the scenes that kept you grounded. Todrick Hall, the multi-hyphenate entertainer known for viral hits, Broadway brilliance, and unapologetic self-expression, lives life loud. He's glitter, glam, and go-getter energy wrapped into one dazzling package. But his most intimate truth? He's found a love that doesn't need a stage to shine. Enter David Borum, the man who doesn't crave the spotlight, but who holds Todrick steady when the lights go out. Their relationship is intentionally low profile, rare in an industry built on visibility. But maybe that's what makes it so strong. No headlines, no drama, just quiet loyalty, fierce support, and a bond that's built behind closed doors. While Todrick tours, choreographs, and creates, David Borum anchors. Their connection is rooted not in appearances, but in presence. Being there, showing up, staying real. Together, they prove that not all love stories need an audience. Some just need two hearts that understand each other and the space to grow. Candace Parker and Anna Petrakova, courtside queens and the power of private love. What if two basketball stars fell in love and the world didn't even know until after the vows? Candace Parker, WNBA legend and one of the greatest athletes of her generation, knows how to dominate a court. But when it comes to her personal life, she plays a different game. Quiet, intentional, fiercely protected. That's why the world was stunned in 2021 when she announced not only that she'd married fellow pro baller Anna Petrakova, but that they were expecting their first child. Plot twist? More like a power move. Their love story unfolded far from headlines, years of mutual respect, shared dreams, and a deep bond that blossomed away from the cameras. Anna, a former Russian basketball star, brought not just strength but softness into Candace's life. Together, they balance parenting, personal growth, and the pressures of elite sports, all while keeping their relationship beautifully grounded. They didn't just break the mold, they made a new one. Their love is proof that you can be bold and private, strong and soft, legendary and loved. Lena Waithe and Alana Mayo, breaking barriers, owning her truth. What if your love story wasn't just personal? It was a revolution in Hollywood. Lena Waithe, screenwriter, producer, and unapologetic trailblazer, has never played small. From the moment she stepped into the spotlight, she brought with her a voice that demanded to be heard, not just for herself, but for every queer Black creative who'd been told to stay silent. In 2017, her groundbreaking Thanksgiving episode of Master of None gave audiences a rare gift, an authentic, tender story of a young Black woman coming out. It wasn't just TV, it was a cultural shift. A year later, Lena became the first Black woman to win an Emmy for comedy writing, rewriting history while inspiring a new generation. Her love life may stay private, but her message is loud. Black queer love is real, worthy, and powerful. Off-screen, she's known for creating space, mentoring, producing, and opening doors for stories that Hollywood once ignored. Lena's legacy isn't only in awards, it's in the courage she represents. Her life reminds us, sometimes the boldest love story is the one you live by being true to yourself. Michaela J. Rodriguez and Stephen Gimigliano, poise, power, and a private kind of love. What if your greatest role wasn't on screen, but in living your truth? Michaela J. Rodriguez, the luminous star of Pose, made history as the first transgender woman to win a Golden Globe. On screen, she embodied Blanca, a character who fought for chosen family and unconditional love. Off-screen, MJ carries that same strength, fierce, graceful, and unapologetically herself. Yet when it comes to romance, she keeps things beautifully quiet. While the world craves details about her partner, MJ chooses privacy over publicity. And maybe that's the most powerful statement of all, that love doesn't need validation to be real. What she does share is her belief in connection, authenticity, and resilience. In interviews, MJ reminds us that love, whether romantic, platonic, or communal, isn't about spectacle. It's about support. It's about showing up. Her career may keep her center stage, but her heart remains grounded. MJ's story isn't just about fame or visibility. It's about claiming space, protecting joy, and reminding the world that transgender love stories deserve to be celebrated, whether whispered or shouted. Derek Gordon and Boomer, breaking barriers, building love. What if your biggest win didn't happen on the court, but in living openly? In 2014, Derek Gordon made history as the first openly gay Division I men's basketball player. The announcement shook the sports world, breaking silence in an arena that often left no room for authenticity. But Derek wasn't just coming out. He was stepping into the life he deserved. Enter Boomer, an actor and activist who brought both support and strength into Derek's world. Together, they've been more than a couple. They've been a symbol. Their relationship is unapologetically visible, proudly shared across social media, a reminder that love belongs everywhere, even in spaces where it's long been denied. Derek's journey, once defined by competition and pressure, found new meaning in connection and freedom. Boomer praises Derek's courage. Derek calls Boomer his rock. Together, they prove that love can rewrite narratives, not just in sports, but in society. For every young athlete scared to live their truth, Derek and Boomer stand tall as proof. Authenticity is the real victory. Anthony Wayne and Kendrell Bowman, love in the spotlight, power behind the curtain. What if love wasn't just personal, but also your greatest collaboration? Anthony Wayne, a Broadway powerhouse with charisma to spare, knows how to command a stage. Kendrell Bowman, a visionary stylist and creative director, knows how to craft images that live forever. Together, they're unstoppable. Their relationship is more than romance. It's a partnership rooted in art, ambition, and truth. Anthony brings the voice and performance. Kendall brings the vision and aesthetic. Side by side, they've transformed stages and red carpets into statements of Black queer excellence. Their most celebrated collaboration, You Make Me Feel Mighty Real, wasn't just theater. It was a cultural tribute to disco legend Sylvester. It was bold, unapologetic, and deeply personal, blending Anthony's magnetic presence with Kendall's creative fire. Off-stage, they are just as inspiring, mentors, advocates, and voices for representation. Their love reminds us that when passion and purpose collide, the result isn't just art, it's legacy. Anthony and Kendall don't just share love, they create with it. And every project, every moment, is proof that together, they're rewriting the story of Black queer brilliance. Oliver Clyde, Allen, and Rashad Burgess. Faith, family, and fearless love. What if church wasn't a place of judgment, but of radical love? Bishop Oliver Clyde Allen and Rashad Burgess have turned that question into reality. As partners in life and leaders in spirit, they are rewriting what faith looks like for the Black LGBTQ+ community. Through Vision Church in Atlanta, they've created a sanctuary where race, gender, and sexuality aren't barriers but blessings. Together, they've raised 2 children while building a ministry rooted in inclusivity, resilience, and truth. Their love story isn't just romantic, it's revolutionary. Where so many LGBTQ+ people have been pushed out of religious spaces, Bishop Allen and Rashad built one that says, "You belong here." Featured in the documentary Holler If You Hear Me, Black and Gay in the Church, their presence is more than symbolic. It's proof that faith and queerness are not opposites, they're powerful partners. Their union is strength, their family is testimony, and their legacy, a vision of love that transcends walls, pulpits, and prejudice.